Co-host Marie Osmond will not return to the table when season 11 kicks off later this month.
Marie Osmond has been hailed as a luminary in the entertainment industry for quite some time. Her career as an accomplished singer, actor, and much-loved TV host has lasted for many years. However, behind the surface, there is a more profound narrative, one that is characterized by inner struggles, profound emotional discoveries, and remarkable resilience. Unexpectedly, fresh, disturbing revelations concerning Marie Osmond have surfaced, casting doubt on the innocent reputation she has worked so hard to cultivate. In what ways may the public's view of this legendary performer be altered by these new details? The well-known Osmond family is well known for its clean, family-friendly shows, and Marie Osmond was born into that fame on October 13, 1959. As a young singer, her mesmerizing voice and charisma catapulted her into the limelight, beginning her meteoric rise to fame. But there were special difficulties associated with being a public child. Marie and her brothers were introduced to the entertainment industry at an early age through the Osmond family program. Marie, whose life was under continual scrutiny as a celebrity, learned to negotiate the spotlight while other kids played freely. She felt immense pressure to maintain the ideal image of a perfect star due to her early exposure to the celebrity lifestyle, which made her very self-aware. A little girl, struggling emotionally under the weight of continual public scrutiny, lurked under her sunny exterior. Marie frequently battled emotions of loneliness and inadequacy, despite her immense fame. The unseen pressure of the expectations associated with her family name made her doubt who she was and where she belonged in the entertainment industry. Marie's struggles with self-esteem intensified as she sought to balance her aspirations with the public's perception of the Osmond family. One of the Osmonds wasn't enough to satisfy her yearning for independence and validation of her own gifts and perspectives. Although she was proud of her brother's achievements, she felt eclipsed by them and decided to forge her own path because of it. The emotional toll of being born under a renowned family's shadow has been something Marie has spoken frankly about in interviews. She struggled to find her identity as an artist and a person apart from the heritage of her family, and her quest became a voyage of self-discovery. This turning point in her life and work was marked by her quest for independence and self-identity, which would influence numerous of her choices. What unstated obstacles did Marie face that may have put a stop to her career when it was just starting out? As Marie grew into an adult, she looked forward to a successful career. Her solo hits and her famous duet with brother Donnie gave the impression that she could do no wrong. Becoming renowned, nevertheless, takes time and effort. Despite Marie's glitz and glitter, she has battled anxiety and uncertainty for a long time. Marie, despite her enormous success in the entertainment industry, often felt confined by a golden cage. The expectations of her loved ones and the need to maintain a presentable image put tremendous strain on her. In a culture that valued excellence, she battled emotions of inadequate and self-doubt. Her seemingly perfect demeanor was actually a mask she used to conceal her inner troubles from the world. A huge emotional burden was brought on by this duality, the joyful front to the outside world and the anguished soul within. As she struggled with the demands of stardom, Marie sought comfort in her music. She overcame personal obstacles with the support of her music, which touched the hearts of millions. Themes of love and loss were common in her early music, which likely reflected her life experiences unknowingly. The idea that being vulnerable may be a strength didn't occur to her until she let it in her art. But becoming famous was not without its costs. Marie was relentlessly questioned by the media about her personal life, casting a shadow on her professional accomplishments. Feelings of distrust and worry caused by the breach of privacy might be exacerbated by the rigorous scrutiny of public opinion, which could magnify any mistake. The pressures of fame made her feel vulnerable and weak, despite her best efforts to appear courageous. When Marie Osmond was in her late 20s, she started to have mental health concerns. The most debilitating of these were panic attacks, which left her feeling powerless. There was a stark contrast between her public persona during her professional height and these emotional periods. This chapter explores how she began to cope with her mental health issues, seeking help and support as she fought for a good work-life balance. Nevertheless, the impact of her troubled connection with fame on her mental health and interpersonal relationships is still unknown. Did she have any hidden demons that her fans would be shocked to learn about? No matter what, Marie Osmond always had her sorrows with her. The tragic death of her father, George, was an event that she will always remember. This chapter delves into how that loss affected her life and perspective. Even though it was her duty as a daughter to carry on the family company, she found it challenging to do so when her father passed away. The deep relationship Marie had with her father was broken when he died suddenly. The pressure to succeed grew debilitating, and the burden of carrying on the Osmond name was immense. Marie took solace in her work after going through such a devastating tragedy. She channeled her sorrow into her music, which moved listeners to tears. What changed in her view of love, family, and the impermanence of life as a result of this tragedy is still unknown. When Marie's career took off, she was dealing with unresolved anguish in all its manifestations. In this part, we explore how her father's death affected her view of relationships, particularly her own marriages and the dynamics within her family. Could the dread of losing the people she loved explain her reluctance to commit fully to them? Marie had a tough time navigating the complexities of fame and heartache without more challenges. Olive and Marie's connection evolved following the death of Marie's father. Tensions rose, and the family dynamic changed as a result of everyone's individual reactions to the loss. Marie, who was trying to compensate for her father's absence while going through her own pain, grew increasingly protective of her mother. This chapter delves into how these relationships influenced her mental state and the decisions she made afterwards. How did Marie's coping techniques lead her to unexpected discoveries about her life? As Marie navigated the demands of fame and family, her love life went haywire. The public's fixation on her renowned romances concealed the anguish and letdown that resided within. Their marriage was fraught with love and hate, and she was married to music producer Brian Blosil. They started their marriage with high hopes, but challenges came and went, testing their commitment to one another. Maintaining a high-profile job while still caring for one's family was an impossible balancing act. When the couple decided to start a family, they faced increasing pressure from both the public and their own expectations, which put a strain on their relationship. They got to a crossroads despite everything, and the heartbreak of their subsequent separation left Marie feeling like a failure. Marie was subjected to the public and media's attention as she navigated the emotional turmoil of divorce following their breakup. Using Marie's romantic relationships as an example, this chapter delves into the gap between her public image and her lived realities. With each broken heart, Marie learned a new lesson about love, commitment, and her own value. Reliving the pain of her marriage's dissolution caused her to re-evaluate her life's ambitions. After that, she embarked on a challenging but ultimately rewarding journey of self-discovery, which exposed her shortcomings and allowed her to see a future where she could celebrate her individuality. Realizing that loving oneself is the bedrock of all genuine love set her on a path of self-discovery and acceptance. She experienced a profound realization about the need of self-love and acceptance during this period. What role did forgiveness play in her journey? And how did her experiences mold her perception of true love? From her lowest point, what did Marie learn about love? Marie Osmond's personal struggles began with heartbreak. She decided to get therapy and start the healing process despite the emotional toll. Marie overcame her anxiety and sadness with the help of therapy, self-reflection, and her solid support system. She did this to end the stigma associated with talking about mental health, which is particularly problematic in the entertainment business, which frequently prioritizes appearances over substance. The strength of vulnerability was shown by Marie's candor regarding her difficulties. In interviews and public appearances, she openly discussed her issues with mental health, urging others to do the same and reject the taboo that surrounds emotional struggles. We can all relate to suffering, even those in the public eye. Her bravery demonstrated that. Community, self-care, and artistic expression were sources of support for Marie during her challenging rehabilitation. She was able to conquer her inner turmoil by spending more time with loved ones, putting herself first, and listening to music again. She found solace in her music, which came to mirror her maturation as an emotional being and the hardships she had faced. One potent outlet was creative expression. Marie found solace and expression in songwriting as she worked through her difficulties, creating songs that might connect with others who could relate. Lyrically, she conveyed profound truths and brought her audience closer together. Marie also used her background to become an advocate. She spoke about her experience at public events, collaborated with groups that promote mental health, and took part in awareness initiatives. Her goal became crystal clear: to make the world a more accepting place for people to talk about mental health issues without fear of stigma or shame. At the end of the day, Marie's experience serves as a reminder that the key to healing is not forgetting the past, but rather learning from it. Her story shows how important it is to have open dialogues about mental health and how her journey has inspired a more empathetic attitude towards celebrities. How can we see the difficulties experienced by renowned persons be altered by any fresh details regarding Marie's mental health? Marie Osmond showed incredible resiliency throughout the years, growing not only as an artist, but also as a person who found new meaning in life. It was more than just a comeback. She completely reinvented herself when she returned to the limelight. She took on additional responsibilities as a spokesperson for mental health, writer, public speaker, and performer. This metamorphosis was profoundly intimate as well as professional. Marie enabled people to embrace vulnerability by candidly sharing her problems. She gained praise for her candor as she openly recounted the ups and downs of her life in her novels. Her works struck a chord with readers on a very human level, prompting vital discussions on psychological well-being, familial demands, and the psychological toll of celebrity. She was able to reach more people and use her newfound platform to convey optimism once her book became a bestseller. Finally, she decided to try her hand at public speaking, and her speeches on acceptance and perseverance were moving. Stories from Marie's own life used to illustrate the importance of being genuine and the therapeutic impact of sharing one's emotions in her presentations. She persisted in developing herself creatively. She found a creative outlet in reality TV and hosting shows, which gave her the chance to express herself in new ways. She was able to reconnect with her love of performing and reach new generations of fans through her performances. Viewers got a unique look into her private life on one reality show that concentrated on family issues. Marie saw the choice as a continuation of her advocacy work, which emphasized the need of communication and connection within families, even if it was received with conflicting views. Marie did more than just walk the walk. She also mentored budding artists, helping them navigate the tricky waters of stardom without sacrificing their mental health. She played a key role in launching initiatives that linked aspiring artists with seasoned mentors, in an effort to foster development and perseverance. It is evident from Marie's continuous change that personal progress is an ongoing process. She was an inspiration to many since she was not afraid to speak her mind. What life-changing events prompted her to share her narrative in such a prominent light? What doors of opportunity did Marie's journey of self-discovery unlock? In the struggle against the discrimination and stigma associated with mental illness, Marie Osmond has emerged as a powerful figure in recent years. Her notoriety allows her to shed light on the unseen struggles faced by the entertainment business. In this section, we will explore her efforts to bring attention to mental health issues and the need to eradicate the stigma that surrounds them. Because it stems from her own battles with mental health concerns, Marie's advocacy work is quite personal. She has found that by sharing her experience, she can relate to a lot of others who can relate. Her message couldn't be more timely, given the increasing amount of talks about mental health that are unfortunately still shrouded in stigma. In interviews, on talk programs, and on social media, she encourages open discussion about mental health, reminding her fans that they have company in this struggle. She is involved in several worthwhile activities, and one of them is the Walk for Mental Health, an annual event that raises money and awareness for mental health services. Using her famous status to bring attention to the issue, Marie has spoken frankly about her personal struggle and the need to get help. By being so forthright about her challenges, she has set off a domino effect of support and education, and many others have followed suit. Marie has done advocacy work in the field of mental health and has also collaborated with organizations to create programs that assist families and people in dealing with mental health issues. She believes that providing people with information and resources is the most effective method to help them achieve mental wellness. In the course of her advocacy, Marie remains resolute in her mission to encourage people to put their mental health first. Through her seminars and workshops, she has taught individuals the importance of having a support system and how to cope. Her influence in the field of mental health has grown substantially since she started speaking publicly about the topic. How are these endeavors influencing the people around her? And what does the future hold for her? Is there anything new that Marie has done to reach the folks who really need to hear her message? As Marie travels on her quest, shocking new details about her past have emerged, altering the plot and shocking viewers. Marie is forced to confront her past in a manner she has never done before, as this chapter explores the recent unexpected discovery. These facts reveal her hidden struggles with trauma and familial trouble, which were often hidden by her public persona. Speaking about her struggles in personal relationships and the added demands of carrying the Osmond name, Marie has discussed this in interviews. She had a tough time navigating the emotional landscape of her family's conflict, which sprang from different expectations and aspirations. The difficulties of belonging to a prominent family are shown by Marie's candor about her connections with relatives. Having to face one's own troubles while presenting an idealized version of oneself led to feelings of isolation. These additional details provide a more nuanced picture of her life and dispel some of the basic misconceptions surrounding celebrity culture. Marie shed new light on her mental health struggles during a session in which she discussed the ways in which familial expectations had a multiplicative effect. The enormous pressure to succeed, she said, made her feel inadequate on a regular basis. Her advocacy skills, honed through her own weaknesses, are her way of giving back to the world and making it a better place for future generations. It was no secret that Marie's public character had an impact on her personal relationships. She freely admitted that there were times when her popularity got in the way of her ability to connect with her loved ones. These discoveries had a profound impact on both her personal life and how the public perceived her. How will she respond to these tragic events? And will they impact her legacy? How may Marie's discovery of this new information change everything? Social media has a significant role in shaping public opinion in today's digital society. It has been helpful and bad for Marie Osmond. The social media platforms Instagram and Twitter have grown in importance for Marie as she engages with her admirers and gives them a glimpse into her life outside of the spotlight. The constant critique on social media, however, may be crippling. Depending on how she frames her stories, she gets both encouraging words and constructive criticism. This seeming paradox highlights the challenges faced by prominent individuals in this age of internet-driven hyperreality. Despite the challenges, Marie has used her platform to promote self-acceptance and increase understanding of mental health. She regularly shares supportive messages with her admirers to let them realize that being vulnerable is okay. She makes other people going through tough times feel less alone by talking about her struggles. Social media may have a negative impact on people's mental health, particularly young ones, and Marie has voiced her concerns about this. A good balance, she says, should be maintained between one's real life and one's online image. Seeking validation from likes should take a back seat to self-love and sincerity, she tells her fans. Marie is committed to promoting a more constructive dialogue around mental health, and her usage of social media reflects that. Real connection, she says, requires more than just talking on a computer. As she makes her way through the social media labyrinth, she continues to battle for authenticity and mental wellness. What has Marie learned about navigating stardom in the digital age? In light of all the challenges that modern-day celebrities face, how does Marie handle them? Marie Osmond has found peace and purpose in the midst of chaos. This chapter lays out the roadmap to her healing and self-discovery. Through her advocacy efforts, she establishes a sense of belonging and understanding by connecting with those who are experiencing similar hardships. Helping other people has had a profound effect on Marie's life. For individuals dealing with the strains of daily life, her message of prioritizing one's mental health and maintaining an inner calm is a message that rings true. Marie has included artistic endeavors with her advocacy efforts into her path to rehabilitation. She keeps on writing and performing music because it gives her comfort and allows her to express herself. Her artistic pursuits have brought her purpose and satisfaction, enabling her to express herself genuinely, as shown in this chapter. Similarly, Marie's spirituality provides her with comfort and strength. She finds solace in the practices of yoga and meditation that she has adopted throughout her journey. Because she has practiced mindfulness and thankfulness, she is better able to deal with the ups and downs of life. Without limiting herself to religious beliefs, Marie often discusses her own spiritual path, stressing the significance of finding a sense of belonging and meaning in life. In her view, a person's physical and spiritual well-being are just as important as their mental health. This viewpoint provides tremendous comfort to her countless devotees, many of whom are on their own journeys for inner harmony. Marie has learned the importance of community and meaningful relationships on her spiritual path. In her view, it is of the utmost importance to have someone to rely on when circumstances go rough. She has built a community of individuals who are there for each other when times are tough through her many initiatives. How has she gone about promoting inner harmony through her techniques and ideas? Throughout her investigation of herself, has Marie discovered anything new about accepting herself? Consideration of Marie Osmond's life narrative reveals that her influence extends well beyond her career accomplishments. This section highlights the impact she has made via her advocacy work, which has motivated many individuals to confront their issues directly and seek help. The resilience that comes from facing and conquering one's fears is beautifully illustrated in Marie's narrative. Her perseverance in sharing her story ensures that it will continue to inspire generations to come. Beyond sharing her own story, her goal in speaking out about mental health is to build a community of understanding and support for others who are struggling. Marie's influence reaches well beyond her close circle of friends and family. Her speeches echo across neighborhoods, companies, and educational institutions. Since then, she has been a regular speaker on the topic of mental health. She is committed to enabling others to speak up and she does her best to create spaces where people feel comfortable being open and honest. In a culture that frequently prioritizes pretense above authenticity, her words ring true. Marie fosters an inclusive and encouraging atmosphere by being herself and by encouraging others to do the same. She continues to leave an indelible impression on society via her ceaseless advocacy for mental well-being and assistance to the oppressed. Marie is eager to make a difference in the lives of young artists and those who are forging their own paths by serving as a mentor and providing emotional and practical assistance. She has empathy for the struggles individuals endure, which is rare in a business that often prizes shallowness. By sharing tools for self-acceptance and mental health awareness, she hopes to empower young talent to face challenges head-on in their professions with strength and resilience. In what ways will this remarkable woman's influence endure in the years ahead? What type of legacy will Marie Osmond create? That is a question that many of her fans ask. New events occur in Marie Osmond's life on a daily basis. The adored actress is getting ready to take on new challenges and opportunities, and this chapter provides fans a glimpse into her future activities. Thanks to her continuing advocacy work and forthcoming concerts, Marie is prepared to make a triumphant return. Her journey has only just begun, and her unwavering resolve will captivate audiences for years to come. Marie is constantly seeking new challenges, whether it's expanding her artistic horizons, collaborating with other artists, or becoming more activist. She recognizes the power of her voice and is resolute in her mission to utilize it for good. Marie is also looking at starring in and producing films and TV shows that are reflective of her values. She hopes to illustrate that art can be a force for good by sharing tales of perseverance and mental health in an effort to educate and inspire others. Her legion of fans can't contain their enthusiasm as she embarks on this new chapter of her career. Is Marie planning to release anything remarkable soon? Composing a new record that reflects her growth and current life experiences is one of her ongoing pursuits. By focusing on themes of hope, healing, and perseverance, the album hopes to evoke strong feelings in its listeners. Because she thinks music can heal and inspire, Marie is devoted to telling her experience via her work. Marie is also working with groups that focus on mental health to provide information and seminars to those who are experiencing similar difficulties. In the long run, she hopes to provide tools that everyone can use to learn more about mental health and find ways to cope. Marie works tirelessly on these projects because she hopes to change people's perceptions of mental health for the better. Is Marie planning anything remarkable soon? When you're feeling overwhelmed by life, look to Marie Osmond for inspiration. The author takes stock of her path thus far and the wisdom she has gained in this part. From battling her own demons to advocating for mental health, Marie is the very definition of tenacity. There is always time to seek help, be open, and begin the healing process. Her tale is a strong reminder of that. Through her unwavering determination, she showcased the indomitable nature of the human spirit. A lot of individuals look up to Marie because she encouraged them to tackle challenges head-on. Resilience, she explains by her own example, isn't about dodging difficulties, but about rising above them. She has decided to embrace her imperfections since she has realized they are part of being human. The importance of community support in overcoming adversity is highlighted in this chapter, which features testimonials from fans who found strength in Marie's actions. Marie continues to share her story because it demonstrates that resilience and hope can be found in the darkest of circumstances. How can we take Marie's narrative and use its significant lessons for our own lives? Self-advocacy is a key component of resilience, as Marie's experiences have shown. Her message to her followers is to stand up for yourself, whether that means scheduling therapy appointments, putting oneself first, or establishing healthy boundaries in relationships. To be resilient, she says, is to do more than just weather adversity. It's to actively participate in one's own healing. With this chapter of Marie's journey coming to an end, what are her parting remarks on resilience? We take a moment to reflect on Marie Osmond's extraordinary life as we get to the conclusion of our journey. Marie has fearlessly and elegantly navigated the intricacies of fame throughout her life, from her days as a child star to her current role as an advocate for mental health. Every famous person has their own actual set of challenges and victories, and her life is a powerful reminder of that. The disturbing new details just enrich our knowledge of her past, demonstrating that she is a courageous lady who has faced adversity head-on. Marie Osmond has been an inspiration to many people due to her authenticity and commitment to making a difference. With an eye toward the future, it is evident that her story is far from over and that her impact will endure. Love, loss, hope, and perseverance are the threads that run through Marie's narrative. She illustrates that it's okay to be vulnerable and get assistance when you need it, by speaking up about mental health and following her heart. Her life is interwoven with a strong feeling of community and the capacity to overcome challenges. As a result of her efforts, Marie will be remembered for years to come. What we learn from her is that hardship shapes us rather than defining us. The story she tells offers us hope that we can conquer any challenge by seeking help when we need it. We appreciate you being here with us as we go through Marie Osmond's life story. Please watch our next video and let us know what you think if you were inspired by this narrative.